Huntsville is on fire again, and at the center of the flames. Martell Holt and Queen Melody Shari. Their feud has dragged on for years, but now it's boiling over, pulling her fierce four-piece nuggets straight into the chaos. We're talking public callouts, secret alliances, and whispers of betrayal that could explode at any second. And the craziest part, the next move could decide who rules Huntsville's reality scene, and who gets burned. Martell Holt isn't backing down. If anything, he's cranking the drama up to full volume. Once again, Queen Melody Shari and her famously sharp four-piece nuggets are being pulled straight into the center of his chaos. So, what sparked this latest clash? And why is the tension spiraling faster than ever? The man who once ruled Huntsville's reality TV scene is back on the offensive, and this feud is far from ordinary. We're talking years of simmering resentment, bold public jabs, and shocking twists no one saw coming. From Martell's pointed remarks to Melody's fiery response, the fallout has set the entire Huntsville cast buzzing. In this deep dive, we'll unpack the full timeline, expose the history fueling their rivalry, and reveal insider details you won't find anywhere else. Proof that this saga is nowhere near over. Buckle up, because it's about to get messy, raw, and impossible to look away from. To truly grasp the latest fiery clash between Martell Holt and Queen Melody Shari, along with her fiercely loyal four-piece Nuggets crew, we have to rewind to the roots of their long-running feud. Martell, a central figure on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, has built a reputation for his bold personality and his refusal to step away from a fight. Over time, his relationship with Melody has been anything but smooth, shaped by sharp arguments, power plays, and moments where mutual respect nearly collapsed into open disdain. Melody, on the other hand, has carved her place as a fiercely independent and outspoken force. Her four-piece Nuggets, a close-knit group of allies, stand firmly in her corner, amplifying her presence whenever tensions rise. This dynamic alone was enough to spark friction. But when you add in their conflicting visions, lingering personal grievances, and the high stakes of holding influence on the show, the powder keg was inevitable. Social media only made it worse, with both sides taking their grievances public, trading pointed jabs that kept fans glued to their screens and gossip swirling nonstop. What makes their rivalry so magnetic isn't just the verbal sparring or on-screen drama, it's the deeper emotional stakes. Both Martell and Melody are battling not just for dominance in Huntsville's social hierarchy, but also for a place in the hearts and loyalty of the audience. And as recent events prove, neither seems willing to lose that fight. Every move, every word, and every glance between Martell Holt and Queen Melody Shari comes loaded with meaning. And it's never contained to just the two of them. Melody's four-piece Nuggets often find themselves pulled into the fray, turning their feud into a sprawling web of tension that touches the entire cast and even the fan base. But here's the catch. While the backstory is messy enough, recent flare-ups hint at something deeper. Martell's latest actions aren't mere knee-jerk reactions, they're calculated moves. A message delivered loud and clear. Despite years of public clashes, Martell's frustration hasn't faded. It's sharpened. His latest behavior shows he's nowhere near ready to bury the hatchet with Melody or her crew. Insiders suggest that Martell feels pushed to the sidelines and misunderstood in the Huntsville reality landscape. In his view, newer power players like Melody and her tight-knit allies have stolen the spotlight, shifting influence and control away from him. That sting of displacement fuels much of his resentment. In recent episodes and online exchanges, Martell has been anything but subtle, taking aim not only at Melody but at her entire squad. He's accused the four-piece Nuggets of stirring the pot while dodging accountability. And his criticisms carry weight because they come from someone who once held considerable influence and respect in Huntsville's storyline. Yet this is about more than just bruised egos, it's about a man fighting to reclaim relevance in a game he once dominated. Martell Holt's relentless targeting of Melody Shari and her four-piece Nuggets goes far beyond personal grudge work. It's a calculated fight for relevance and respect in a cast that's constantly shifting. In the world of reality TV, conflict is currency, and Martell is spending it wisely to keep himself firmly in the spotlight. According to Carlos King and other insiders, his playbook includes publicly challenging Melody's crew, aiming to expose cracks in their unity and provoke reactions that could tilt the power dynamic in his favor. By keeping them at the center of attention, whether for praise or controversy, Martell is actively working to reclaim his standing in Huntsville's hierarchy. But this is no one-sided battle. Melody and her tight-knit crew aren't the type to take shots in silence. They respond with fiery clapbacks, pointed social media posts, and a determination to defend their image. The result is a tit-for-tat cycle of escalation that shows no signs of slowing down. Fans are now split into two camps: those who admire Martell's unapologetic approach, and those who rally behind Melody's resilience and leadership. This divide has only intensified the buzz, turning their feud into one of the most talked-about storylines in the Huntsville reality scene. And here's where it gets even more intriguing. Whispers suggest the drama is laced with deeper issues, from financial disagreements to old betrayals that the cameras haven't fully captured. These buried tensions could be fueling the fire as much as ego or status. Now, all eyes are on Melody Shari and her four-piece nuggets to see how they'll maneuver behind the scenes, and whether their next move will cool the conflict or blow it wide open. Faced with Martell Holt's relentless jabs, Queen Melody Shari and her four-piece nuggets have gone into full defense mode. Determined to protect the reputation they've worked tirelessly to build in the competitive world of love and marriage, Huntsville. According to sources close to Melody, the four-piece nuggets aren't just friends. They're a tightly knit unit bound by loyalty, shared ambition, and a mutual commitment to lifting each other up. Their strength lies in their ability to rally around Melody during public clashes, coordinate behind-the-scenes strategies, and use social media to amplify their message. Since Martell reignited their feud, Melody's response has been a deliberate mix of direct confrontation and well-timed restraint. She's quick to address accusations when necessary, but equally willing to let her actions speak for themselves, avoiding getting pulled into every petty exchange. This balance allows her to control the narrative while keeping the drama on her terms. Social media has become a critical weapon in her arsenal, with posts, both subtle and bold, aimed at Martell and his allies, designed to stir conversation, fuel speculation, and sway public opinion in her favor. But Melody's game plan goes deeper than online sparring. Behind the scenes, she's reportedly building new alliances within the cast and production, signaling that she's not just defending her ground, she's positioning herself for a more dominant role in the show's future. Carlos King and other insiders note that this strategic push has made her one of the most polarizing figures in Huntsville. Admirers see her as savvy and strong. Critics label her divisive. Interestingly, the four-piece nuggets have started to become almost as famous as Melody herself, with each member bringing a distinct personality and voice to the table. Their group dynamic is now a central thread in the show's drama, but maintaining that unity isn't without strain. Whispers suggest that the mounting pressure and constant public spotlight may be testing their bond. The question now is, how long can they hold the line before cracks start to show? Whether Melody's four-piece nuggets can hold together under Martell Holt's relentless fire remains an open question. And the whispers coming out of Huntsville only make things more intriguing. Rumors are swirling about a potential shakeup in Melody's camp, either a brand new member joining the four-piece nuggets or an unexpected betrayal from within. Either twist could turn up the heat, shifting alliances and pushing the feud into uncharted territory. The Huntsville reality scene feels like it's teetering on the edge of a major reshuffle. Fans are watching with bated breath as talk of new alliances, shocking betrayals, and surprise moves spread through the grapevine. One of the hottest rumors points to a mysterious newcomer being added to Melody's squad. Insiders say this fresh face could inject new energy and cement Melody's dominance, but could just as easily disrupt the group's chemistry, igniting conflicts from within. On the other side, quiet murmurs suggest cracks may already be forming. In the four-piece nuggets, the constant pressure from Martell's attacks and the relentless public spotlight are said to be testing loyalties, with some members allegedly questioning their role or future in the group. Such fractures could give Martell exactly the opening he needs to regain influence. And Martell isn't wasting any time. Behind the scenes, he's reportedly mapping out his next moves with precision, exploring fresh alliances, rebranding his image, and positioning himself for a comeback. His recent public callouts of Melody and her crew might just be the first moves in a longer, more calculated campaign to reclaim his spot at the top. Carlos King, always plugged into the drama, has hinted that upcoming episodes will be packed with volatile showdowns and jaw-dropping reveals, the kind that can forge new alliances, end old friendships, and flip the power structure on its head. This isn't just about personal grudges anymore. It's a high-stakes battle for influence, legacy, and survival in one of reality TV's most combustible arenas. Love and marriage. Huntsville isn't just reality TV, it's a cultural force that shapes public perception, influences social hierarchies, and cements legacies. With social media amplifying every twist and turn, the pressure on Martell, Melody, and their entourages is relentless. Every post, every reaction, every carefully chosen word becomes another calculated move in an ongoing chess match for influence and control. So, what's next? Will Melody's four-piece nuggets remain rock solid, or will Martell manage to flip the narrative and silence his critics? Or could an even bigger twist be lurking just out of sight? One possible outcome is that Queen Melody Shari and her crew double down on their unity, sharpening their strategy to an even finer edge by leaning into their loyal fan base, wielding their social media clout, and strengthening behind-the-scenes alliances. They could entrench themselves as Huntsville's dominant power block. Such a move wouldn't just fend off Martell's attacks. It could also intimidate rivals, control the show's narrative, and expand their influence both on-screen and off. In this scenario, Melody's camp becomes not just a strong player in the game but the one setting the rules, forcing Martell and anyone else in opposition to play on their terms. What's coming next? In Love and Marriage, Huntsville, Instagram, captions, cryptic tweets, and even the choice of who's tagged in a photo can be as revealing as a filmed confrontation. Fans should pay attention to subtle shifts in tone, sudden bursts of shade, or conspicuous silences, all of which can signal changes in alliances or the brewing of fresh drama. Outcome 1 sees Melody and her four-piece nuggets consolidating their power, locking in their dominance through strategic moves and a united front. This could keep them firmly in control of the narrative, but it risks alienating some viewers who grow weary of the constant tension. Still, for a large segment of the fan base, Melody's unapologetic leadership is exactly what keeps the show magnetic. Outcome 2 offers Martell a chance at redemption, a calculated return to influence through new alliances, possible reconciliations, and a carefully managed public image. If he can reframe the story in his favor, he could transform from embattled antagonist to unexpected comeback king, adding a fresh dimension to the show's intrigue. Outcome 3, the wild card, is a shakeup from within. Betrayals, shifting loyalties, and members of Melody's camp breaking ranks. These cracks could hand Martell the advantage, empower other cast members, or even birth entirely new rivalries that shift the balance of power. Outcome 4, the least likely but still possible, is a truce, a ceasefire forged by exhaustion, production influence, or mutual self-interest. While not as explosive, this could open space for new storylines and allow different dynamics to take the spotlight, giving fans a breather from the constant back and forth while still keeping them invested. No matter which path unfolds, the stakes remain sky high. In Huntsville, every move on screen or online is a calculated step in an ongoing power game, and the next chapter could redefine the entire reality TV landscape. If you really want to keep up with the next big twists in Love and Marriage, Huntsville, you have to do more than just tune in every Saturday night. The most telling clues about where the show is heading are often scattered outside the official episodes, hiding in plain sight for anyone willing to piece them together. For starters, Martell Holt's and Melody Shari's social media accounts are practically open diaries, but not in the way you might expect. An Instagram story might seem like a casual gym selfie or a harmless brunch photo, but look closer. Who's in the background? Whose comment got a like? Did a familiar face suddenly vanish from their follower list? These tiny shifts often speak louder than any on-screen confession. A seemingly innocent tweet can double as a cryptic jab, and a tagged location might subtly hint at who's spending time together when the cameras aren't rolling. Live streams are where the real unfiltered moments slip through. Maybe it's a late-night chat where someone speaks a little too freely after a glass of wine, or a Q&A session where a fan question strikes a nerve. Even the pauses, the awkward glances at a co-star's comment in the chat, can tell you more than a polished confession booth interview. Many of the show's biggest blow-ups have been preceded by weeks of online tension. A quiet unfollow here, a shady meme there, breadcrumbs for fans who know how to read between the lines. Then, there's the in-show detective work. Pay close attention during group scenes and public events. Who sits next to whom at a dinner? Who seems to avoid eye contact? In the world of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, seating arrangements are rarely random, and the physical distance between cast members often mirrors the emotional distance in their relationships. One week, two cast members might be laughing side by side. The next, they're on opposite ends of the table, their conversations suddenly polite and clipped. These subtle shifts often signal alliances forming or crumbling before they're officially addressed in the storyline. The producers also leave breadcrumbs in how they frame each episode. If a storyline suddenly starts getting more screen time, especially in the previously on or next week on segments, it's a strong sign that this thread will unravel into something bigger. Sometimes, a seemingly minor disagreement in episode 3 becomes the centerpiece of the season's climax. That's because reality TV production thrives on planting seeds early and letting them grow in plain sight, while most viewers are distracted by louder drama. New cast members are another major signal to watch for. On reality TV, a fresh face is rarely just a coincidence. They're often brought in to disrupt existing dynamics, introduce new conflicts, or align with certain factions. The same goes for returning faces. A comeback appearance often means unfinished business, and it's worth noting exactly who greets them warmly versus who offers a stiff smile. Reality television thrives on these calculated disruptions. And love and marriage. Huntsville has mastered the art of using them to flip the season's energy. And then there are the personal revelations, the true wild cards of the show. These moments often arrive without warning, shaking not only the cast but the audience's loyalties as well. Maybe it's a cheating allegation backed up by a suspicious timeline of photos and comments. Maybe it's a financial issue that was hinted at in earlier episodes but only confirmed when someone can't resist airing the receipts. When these bombshells drop, they can undo months of carefully maintained public image in a single scene. Fans who've been paying attention to inconsistencies, a vague answer here, a nervous laugh there, often see them coming before they hit the screen. Of course, the genius of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, is that it blurs the line between reality and performance. What you see on screen is the polished product of countless hours of raw footage. But what happens online is more chaotic, more revealing, and harder to control. Cast members know their audiences are watching both spaces, the official episodes and the real-life feed, and they use that to their advantage. Some will drop intentional hints to stir speculation, while others try to clean up a messy storyline by posting their own version of events. The trick is figuring out which moments are strategic and which are genuine slips. The most devoted fans keep mental timelines cross-referencing on-screen events with social media activity. If a fight on the show was filmed 3 months ago, what was happening on Instagram during that time? Were there sudden vacations, cryptic quotes, or quiet reconciliations? Tracking these patterns can turn casual viewing into a full-on investigative hobby. In the end, staying ahead of the drama means embracing the fact that Love and Marriage, Huntsville, is more than just a TV show. It's a constantly evolving web of relationships, business moves, and personal revelations that play out across multiple platforms. The weekly episodes give you the headlines, but the real story lives in the details. The glance that lingers too long, the caption that seems just a little too pointed, the extra 30 seconds of screen time given to a minor subplot. If you know where to look, you'll see the season's biggest twists coming before they're ever announced. And when that next jaw-dropping episode airs, you won't just be watching the drama, you'll be 3 steps ahead, already piecing together where the next explosion will come from. As we've unpacked today, this feud between Martell Holt and Queen Melody Shari, backed by her unyielding 4-piece nuggets, is far more than your typical reality TV squabble. It's a layered, high-stakes battle filled with raw emotion, calculated strategy, and a fight for relevance in one of the most competitive casts on television. Martell's refusal to step away, his public callouts and whispers of deeper personal and financial rifts make it clear he's playing a long game. Meanwhile, Melody's sharp clapbacks, savvy social media tactics, and the unwavering loyalty of her crew keep her firmly in the fight. But the story's far from finished. Rumors of a new nugget joining the fold, possible betrayals from within, and Martell's potential redemption arc all point to a future packed with shifting allegiances and unpredictable twists. For viewers, that means one thing: stay locked in, watch every move, online and on screen. Because the battles unfolding now could permanently reshape Huntsville's reality TV hierarchy. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Martell and Melody's ongoing war, hit that like button, drop your predictions in the comments, and subscribe for more insider updates and exclusive scoops. And don't forget to share this with every friend who lives for Huntsville drama, because trust me, you'll want them right there with you when the next big reveal drops.